Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. This is my breakfast. I love to eat chorizo burritos. It's the best thing that I can get from work at my deli department here. Damn good burrito and orange juice to kick off these early mornings working here. I'm already on my lunch. Here we are at 10 o'clock in the morning, counting down until Monday Night Raw. Of course, today is the 11th, and it's the go-home show to pay back, of course. One of the best things that Monday Night Raw has been doing over the last few months since WrestleMania, when John Cena beats Rusev for the United States Championship. I'm not really sure if it's because of the fact that they really burned through all of the ideas for John Cena versus Rusev. How do you really keep this feud fresh? We haven't seen a lot of promos between these guys. Of course, when you're talking about the first match that they had at the Fastlane, John Cena was calling himself the old rugged vet, and he had been around. He's beat up, he's bitter, and he's bruised. But he went into that match and he lost, and then he came back and he wanted a rematch against Rusev at WrestleMania. And from there, he was energized. He was just like the John Cena that debuted years and years ago on SmackDown, going out there against Kurt Angle and earning the respect of the backstage roster. Of course, it took a long time for Cena to catch on and become the star that he is today, but he ended up becoming the face that I think a lot of people thought he was going to be way back in the day. People thought this guy was special when he was down there in Ohio Valley, and of course they had a really stacked roster there with Brock and Shelton Benjamin, Randy Orton, Batista. To stand out in guys like that, it takes a lot. And, of course, he hit the roster and didn't really become what they thought he was going to be until he just, by luck, caught on with that rapper gimmick. And a lot of people are looking at the United States Challenge. There's a lot of these guys on the roster that aren't really where they're supposed to be. Really getting their chance to shine, going out there and having a good match against John Cena. John Cena's always normally been this protected guy that normally only wrestles against the biggest, hottest names in there, or guys that are on their way out, I guess you can say. Like, they build somebody up just to have Cena beat them and then really don't have anything else for him. We've seen him have great matches against Dean Ambrose. We've had a great match against Kane. Last week we saw the Sami Zayn debut. Stardust was one that really stood out in my mind. Really, really fun every time that we get out there. And of course, because of the Daniel Bryan storyline, well, not really storyline, but real life injury of not knowing what's supposed to be going on. The same thing was supposed to be going on with Daniel Bryan having open challenges for the IC belt on SmackDown. And I just finally got a chance the other day to listen to the Chris Jericho podcast with him that dropped the week of WrestleMania, and he was really saying that was one of his goals that he wanted to do, was really get that title over. Now, the last few weeks we've seen Heath Slater trying to get his shot of going after John Cena. We saw him tell Eric Rowan in catering that he was going to go out there and he was going to accept Cena's challenge that night, and right after that he ate an RKO from Randy Orton. And then he finally got his number called and he was making his way out to the ring before he was attacked from behind by Rusev, setting up a Rusev versus Cena promo. And then, of course, last week he tried to come out and get his shot at John Cena before being knocked out by Bret Hart with the microphone. It is time for Heath Slater to get that shot. Heath Slater's a damn good wrestler. It doesn't matter if he's the one-man band or a member of the three-man band. This guy has always been over with me, and I've never seen why he never got his shot. I know as a member of the Nexus and a member of the Core, he was the tag team champion with Justin Gabriel, and that seems like a long time ago, 2010, 2011. I'm not saying this guy should be world champ, but this guy should be higher up on the card and mean something to what's going down. Daniel Bryan put it best by saying there's no reason why this guy can't be as over as the Honky Tonk Man is. And I thought that was something that really stuck with me, that why they couldn't be having this guy on television. It's not like the mid-card heels that are over really win all the time. I mean, look at Cesaro, look at Bad News Barrett. These guys are, even Steven Booker's, where they're just, they'll get a win on Raw and they'll lose on SmackDown. It makes it where they never really gain any traction. And it's a lot like when CM Punk was in the mid-card. He lost all those long strips of pay-per-views. Then all of a sudden, out of the middle of nowhere, he beats Rey Mysterio, and he's the number one contender to go after John Cena's championship at the Money in the Bank 2011. It's just how the booking committee or the writing staff, whatever you want to call them there at WWE, figures out, who's getting a push. It's almost like they roll the dice when the feud is over, and they're like, well, who are we going to stick him with now? There's no real futuristic, timetable about when things are going. You think back in the day with, Pat Patterson and Vince McMahon sitting around the pool in the backyard of Vince's house, booking the territory. They knew where they were going almost a year out with anybody on the card, whether if it was Hulk Hogan, whether if it was Rick Martel, Tito Santana. They had a plan for everybody, where they were going to be on house shows, where they were going to be on television. Vince could go to somebody and tell them, this is the, where your character's going. If they were upset about money, or if they were upset about where their spot was on the card, he can assure them, we have plans for you, or just tell them the truth. If you want to take off and you want to leave, that's fine. We'll have somebody else to fill your spot. It's not like it's hard to find people to wrestle for us. But now these days, I don't know what the hell's going on, but I want to see Heath Slater versus John Cena tonight, and I know that Heath, if he gets a chance to actually go out there and have a match, the guy's going the wrong fucking way. It's gonna be good. You gotta go the right way in the parking lot. It screwed up my video. Thanks a lot, buddy.